We need to talk about brackets, or parentheses by their official name. Brackets are a great tool for including and enclosing non-essential information in your writing. But what is essential is understanding how to punctuate with brackets. Where do the commas go? Do the periods go inside or outside of the bracket? Question marks, exclamation marks, my head's spinning. I just don't know exactly how to punctuate brackets, and maybe you're in the same boat. So let's get some clarity. Brackets and periods. Inside or outside? Whether periods go inside or outside of a closing bracket depends on the situation. Most of the time, you'll want to put the period outside of the closing bracket. For example, the cake looks great, open bracket, and tastes even better, close bracket, period. This is because the bracketed text is just part of our overall sentence. However, if an entire sentence is inside brackets, then the period will need to go inside the closing bracket. For example, I ate the whole cake, period, open bracket, and now I am full, period, closing bracket. The key rule here is to remember that periods only go inside the closing bracket when the entire sentence is parenthetical. They go outside closing brackets in all other cases. Brackets and commas. When it comes to comma placement and brackets, the main rule to remember is that you only need a comma after the brackets if there would be one in the sentence anyway. You can check whether you will need a comma after your brackets by simply removing them momentarily. Let's look at an example. We're going to the zoo tomorrow, open bracket, Tuesday, close bracket, comma, which will be nice. Here, if I removed the bracketed text, we would be left with, we're going to the zoo tomorrow, comma, which will be nice. A perfectly functional sentence. By contrast, let's look at an example where this wouldn't work. Big cats, open bracket, e.g. lions and tigers, close bracket, comma, are predators. Here, we have a comma after the closing bracket again. But if we remove the bracketed text, we can see immediately that the comma is incorrectly placed here, because you wouldn't write big cats, comma, are predators. The sentence doesn't make sense with the comma, so you don't need to include it even when using bracketed text inside your sentence. Also, you'll almost never need a comma before an opening bracket, but I'm cautious to say never because, as always with English, there is an exception to the rule. I'm sure somebody can find it, and if you find it, let me know in the comments. I am fascinated with just how many exceptions to the rules there are in English. Exclamation points and question marks. Like periods, exclamation marks and question marks are forms of terminal punctuation. Therefore, they usually go at the end of a sentence. However, unlike periods, you can use an exclamation or question mark within the brackets mid-sentence. So, if you have an exclamation or question mark in your writing, you can include it inside your bracketed text. Let's look at an example. The man, open bracket, what was his name? Question mark, close bracket, left a note. The woman, open bracket, who was 7 foot tall, exclamation mark, close bracket, didn't speak. Important note. Adding an exclamation mark or question mark inside of your brackets doesn't affect the rest of your sentence. So, if your sentence ends with the bracketed text and your question mark or exclamation mark sits inside of the brackets, you'll need to put a period to end your sentence correctly. And that's it. For punctuating brackets, we finally have some clarity. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. Don't forget to check out the resources linked in the video description to help with other guides on punctuation in your writing, and subscribe to the channel for more writing tips. Your writing, proofed.